Hello, you've reached Hack Games. My name is Jeremy, and this is episode 6 of our Reformed Fiend playthrough. Last episode, we had a lot of conversation within the Defender's Heart here. We picked up Woljif and added him to our companions. Then we headed to the base of the Tieflings, where his big sister, Karisme, informed us that we were going to have to do a little task for her and figure out who had betrayed the Tieflings. This episode, we are going to kind of continue along that path. I did run around in Defender's Heart here and figure out who we all still needed to talk to. Obviously, normally if I'm playing the game off stream, I just talk to everyone right away at the beginning. However, that might not make for a very entertaining episode. So in this case, what we're going to do is we are going to kick it off with 3 shorter conversations and 1 longer conversation to get a couple of those out of the way. And then we will be on our way over to Ancient Trees and Wonder to try to track down who the traitor of the Tieflings is. So to start off, we're going to talk to Irabeth here. Any success? How is the city? There's a traitor I'm trying to track down. Who is your informant among the Tieflings? Canabras is threatened by a demon horde, and you have enough spare time to help out thieves? I don't like this, but I hope you know what you're doing. I'll tell you everything I know. I did not see my informant's face. He slipped out of a dark alley, handed me the note, and disappeared. He had a cloak with a hood masking his face, but the long horns, didn't fit under it. There should be a guardian golem in Ancient Trees and Wonders, the shop they tried to rob. The owner gave us the construct's code word just in case. The golem itself was destroyed, but the head seems to be intact, so you can interrogate the thing and find out what it saw. The code word is Hand of Aori. The shop's owner must have escaped, but there's a chance you'll get lucky with the golem. Alright, I have to go. Go. May Iomade keep you safe. We're also going to go talk to Anevia here. Look who it is, hi. Tell me about yourself. I'd be happy to, but there's kind of nothing to tell. What's so interesting about me? Where are you from? Nowhere. I was blown in by the wind and found in a cabbage patch. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like blabbing about my past, but you saved my skin, so I guess I kinda owe it to you not to clown around, right? I'm from Nidal, and I wouldn't wish my homeland on my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure, ruled by monsters that aren't alive nor dead, and the official religion is the cult of Zon Kuthan. I grew up in a slum, like a weed between the cobblestones. I didn't have a dad, but I had lots of aunts and uncles. My mom's cronies. No prize for guessing the kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon, and while other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us. Creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They're the guards in Nisroch. Mom gave me to her friends, and we hid in the secret temple of Desna. I never saw my mom again. I lay low in the temple for the next few years, kept my head down. I washed floors, fetched water, listened to sermons. Funny thing, after a while I started liking Desna's teachings. But as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left the doll and got as far away as I could. Quite a ragtag group we've got here, from nobles to street thieves. You got that right. Only the best for you. What do you do if the knights and nobles fail to save the world? The lowlifes are our only hope. What is it like living with Irabeth? It's like living. Without her, I wouldn't be. Seriously, if I were alone, I'd definitely be gone by now. Sure, sometimes we argue, can't deny that. Sometimes we bang our fists on the table and yell so loud that the wall will shake, but that's all about order business. But at home, well, I'll give you an example. I kinda always wanted to move out of that broom closet we call a house and into somewhere cozier. Ain't like they take a vow of poverty at the Eagle Watch. But every month, somehow most of our spare money is spent on Crusader business. Sure, I get mad about it, but it's part of why I love her so much. You know, Irabeth has that thing that matters most for a person. A purpose in life. She's always got a reason for what she's doing. Her whole life is a crusade, and I just drifted around like a leaf in the wind until Desna brought us together. Now she's the meaning of my life. So it really makes no difference if we live in a mansion or under a brush. How did you meet Irabeth? I was bumming around Timon a while back doing this and that. Desna Temple sometimes gave me odd jobs, you know. Sometimes they needed people with skills like mine. On the surface, it was fine, I guess. After Nidal, the freedom of the River Kingdom should have seemed like heaven. My chance to sit back and enjoy life, but I wasn't happy. There just wasn't any joy in my new life. I was all alone. No one cared about me, and I didn't care about anybody either. I struggled to find a reason to drag myself out of bed every morning. Tying a stone around my neck and jumping into the nearest river started to look like pretty appealing. One day, I was hired to follow some fellas who the local authorities suspected were Razmir spies. I was stupid. I made a rookie mistake and they caught me. It's like my body had already decided to do what my mind had been fighting, to finally put me out of my misery. Get someone else to kill me since I didn't have the guts to do it myself. They grabbed me. I thought they'd gut me on the spot, but instead they hogtied me and dragged me off. And just like an animal going to the slaughter, my only thought was, let's get this over with. They brought me to their stinking cave, threw me on their altar, and I realized who it was. Kuthites from Nidal. They'd tracked me down after all those years, but I didn't care anymore. Wouldn't even have cared if they'd eaten me or whatever. We all gotta go sometime, right? So I was lying there staring at those knives pointed at me when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot. Irbeth. There she was, storming into the cave. Picture it, I'm lying on an altar with all these knife-wielding maniacs around me, and suddenly Irbeth storms in. I thought it was Iomade herself, fierce in her shining armor with her gleaming sword raised high. She made quick work of those scumbags, chopped them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me, and then she looked through the papers they had on the table, and she started swearing like a sailor. So much for Iomade. How did you and Irbeth end up in Canabras? After almost becoming a human sacrifice, I knew I never wanted to leave Irbeth's side. Desna knows I fell for her instantly, and I fell hard. My misery was gone, and when Irbeth showed me what was in those papers, proof that the cultist had a nest in her home city, well, I offered to help without a second thought. She must have figured I couldn't wait to get my revenge on the cultists, but I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade or into the jaws of a dragon. But I took to life in Canabras like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went. But half of the Crusaders are the same. After all, who'd volunteer to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You gotta be either a goody two-shoes with too much honor and free time, or a misfit with no life, out in the normal world, with normal people. People come here to run away from their debts, their past, from themselves, so I fit right in. Thank you for your answers. Thanks for asking. Telling you all this kind of makes me feel better. What are your responsibilities in the Eagle Watch? Nothing official. I'm not even a knight, you know. I just hang around. You sure you want to know the details? Catching traitors and spies and cultists is no walk in the park. It's a delicate job. You can't always do it all within the letter of the law. What if we surprise some suspicious blighter with an official search? Everyone will know about it before long, starting with their cronies. Then again, sneaking into people's houses at night ain't exactly legal. Crusaders can't be doing stuff like that, can they? Well, I'm not exactly a knight. I have to go. Alright, you watch yourself now. And Visali Rathimus over here happens to be a cleric. What can I do for you? Who are you? Visali Rathimus, rector of the local temple of Abadar. The temple is gone, though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Who's this boy with you? This one? Kyoto the Shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Erastil, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, I sell scrolls. I have a lot of them, something for every emergency. Second, while you're here in the tavern, I can read one for you. Guaranteed no surprises. But you'd better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going there myself. I'm too old and my powers are needed here. Well, show me the scrolls you're selling. The primary thing I tend to buy from him here is these Alchemist Kit and Scroll Scribers Kits. Again, these are just to make sure that we can create either potions or scrolls as we go along. I'm not going to buy either of them currently. We'll pick them up the next time we come back, actually. And last but not least, we're going to talk to Indara here. This one I'm actually going to save. There are a couple checks in here, and I want the item that we can gain from her. An imposing young Oread is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on to her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Jitska legionnaires from the last war and the Crusaders. The perception of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine. Not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now, tell me again, why am I supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults, where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? The Crusaders are grumbling. I'm going to quietly listen to the discussion. If those gists of yours or whatever had come for us, we'd have their guts for garters. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? I would love to see you storm a 60-foot tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know, these fortifications were defended by Jitskin priest craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare, 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I am Indara, a warrior, magus, and scholar of classical warfare from Garund. I admit that I am mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to Avastan's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. Well, you've come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Galarian, and I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. Well, why did you come here? To witness a legendary war, the confrontation between denizens of a plain famous for its love of violence, and the Crusaders from every continent united by a common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions that hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. Maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. It looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, am I hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there is a sufficiently open-minded person among the Crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. Why don't you join the Crusade and show them how fighting should be done? No. I'm a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the last war of Jitska. The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty words to justify not actually doing the fighting. What is this last war that you mentioned? The last war of Jitska, of course, a large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Osirian Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues, the war that ended the legendary Jitska Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed it were but a pale shadow, including the one I am witnessing here. Why do you find the last war of Jitska so inspiring? Imagine legions of golems, imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds like terrifying monstrous birds of prey to drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive, and very angry, demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels or having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Jitska, the deadly night plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who its master wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight of fancy can even come close to the horror of the nightmares that they made real. How do you know so much about the Jitska's last war? I can say without false modesty that there is no more authoritative research on Galarian when it comes to the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I've dedicated my whole life to the subject. I've personally visited old battlefields and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen sky city of the Shori Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an exterminator-class combat column that guarded a Jitska laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask the servants of Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jitska Imperium. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything I'm telling you about. You're wrong to treat the Crusaders with such disdain. Allow me to explain. A debate? Oh, I will be happy to prove that the current conflict can't pull the candle to the last war of Jitska. Very well, the last war of Jitska was waged using significantly greater numbers of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes, and their strategic planning was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Compared to the Jitska, we are but stone club-wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with a few words of wise counsel from Dagon, an advisor to the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you will comprehend the true genius of this statement, but here it is nevertheless. A gadfly sees the ox. The ox pays no heed to the gadfly, but Crimson Fever takes them both. Alright, let's see what we have the best chance at here. It looks like diplomacy is definitely our best chance. We only need to roll a 4 on this one. The events of the past are shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here and now. That's what you failed to grasp. We have succeeded. Of course, I am not trying to diminish the importance of the current events. What I'm trying to say is that from a standpoint of history, and particularly the history of warfare, the true importance of these developments won't become obvious until later. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline rooted in fact and an evidentiary base that grows ever more meager the further the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith, the way Crusaders embellish their tales of slaying a single Brimarak by adding a dozen Balers, for example, I could win this debate. But I am above such things, and therefore I am forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. I am sure you would have been able to expound on your arguments in a longer discussion. I'm glad we both understand this limitation. It is always a pleasure to face a worthy opponent, even if the debate takes place in a grimy tavern. Perhaps especially because of that. Indara unbuckles her sword belt and hands us the weapon. This is a worthy blade. It will be of use not only for the strong, but also for the wise. We have received the claw of Jitska. And this is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It is about time I got back to my research. Stay safe. Alright, that's our last conversation here for a little bit. We are going to go for a run here now out to Ancient Trees and Wonders.
Retreat already?
Alright, looks like we've got a shear on our backside, and that appears to be it. We're just gonna all bum rush him because he's gonna pick somebody to try to charge at, apparently, in 6 seconds here. Oh, we got one critical.
Follow my steps.
Alright, let's figure out, there we go, how to get out of here. And back on the road again. There aren't really any fights in this location either, so it is a little bit more conversation here.
Let's head out.
So we've got some loot in the corner there. That probably is the ring Woljif was talking about that he dropped and rolled away from him. And we found Finian. Phew, free at last. I thought he'd be flattened like a pancake under that rubble. Much obliged. Damn, I'm not in any pain, but my head is still foggy for some reason. What's with all the hubbub in the city? The name's Finian. I'm a Pathfinder. If there's anything I can do to help, I will. You're a Pathfinder? That's right, Finian Dismar, Pathfinder and Crusader. I roam around the world wound wherever my tasks lead me, scouting mostly, but this last while I've just been hanging around in Canabras, waiting until I'm needed again. I'm bored out of my mind, but at least the shop makes for better lodging than some inn. What I meant was, what are you? What's that supposed to mean? I just told you. You want to know where I hail from? Is that it? Well, I'm from around here, actually. We Kellids of the Star-Eye clan fled when the world wound troubles began, but I couldn't stand by while the demons wreaked havoc, so I came back. Or did you mean to ask about my weapon of choice? My best weapon is every weapon. I'm a skilled and capable fellow, if I do say so myself. I can swing a sword and poke with a spear, but what I'm best at is communing with the spirits. They call folks like me Phantom Blades. Phantom Blade? What's that? It's like a spiritualist, but with a twist. It means that some spirit took a liking to me at some point, and it can turn into whatever weapon I need. Handy, eh? I don't need any whetstones or enchantments, doesn't take up any space either. Although, to be fair, it's not a barrel of laughs. The spirits that bestow this kind of power don't come from happy places, and they're not exactly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They usually appear after great battles that leave few survivors. The city is currently under siege by demons. Wait, what? The last thing I saw was some thieves breaking in here. Then the guards came, everyone was running around. After that, it's a bit of a blur. Right when things got intense, they dropped the cabinet on me. I couldn't even help the owner. I was just lying under the shelves like a dimwit until you came along. If there are demons in Canabras, we must do something about it. The city needs every blade it can get. Hey, do you mind taking me with you? I don't think I can handle this alone, and besides, the more the merrier. Well, how did you end up in the shop? God, I've been here for so long I don't even remember anymore. Just sitting and waiting for any word from the Pathfinders, but it looks like everyone has forgotten about me. The shop owner is an old friend of the Pathfinders, so I've taken up residence here. Alright, I'll take you with me. I swear you won't regret it. I can do all sorts of things. Is there anything your party's missing? A sword? A spear? A bow? Just say the word. So what we are going to do right away with Finian here, we're going to kind of pass him around from party member to party member as we have, I guess, need for enchanted weapons. To start with, though, I am just going to make him into a scythe for us. There is additional dialogue, but we'll wait and do that later. I'm also going to, we have enough kind of space here that I'm not too concerned about this, but I'm also going to carry the extra one with us just in case we need to change him to something else. I want to have a backup weapon that we can still use. Some scrolls have been torn apart and some have been trodden on by muddy boots. The polished oak shelves once showcased magic rings and amulets. Now all that's left are the grubby handprints of the robbers. It's the same message as the previous one. Unique weapons and antique armor were previously displayed on these stands. It's unlikely their new owners even know their value.
Let us be careful.
We can see the Golem here is kind of in tough shape. Or he's been in better shape anyways. And we found a little pet, a little pipe fox. I believe this guy's going to go straight to Woljif. I think he's the only one who has any knowledge arcana at this point.
I'm here. Where else would I be?
I guess I should take a look at that. He has 4. The elephant definitely doesn't have any. Oh, we actually have more than him. Do we already have a pet? We do not. So we're gonna take the pipe fox.
I shall not fail.
Master, code word. Hand of Iori. Code word correct. Awaiting orders. Where did you come from? Who created you? This golem was created by Gaffrin and Son. Address, 3rd building on the right, Jewelers Alley, Neurosian, Mendev. Model, G504, ENE, which stands for Experimental and Enhanced. For all inquiries, contact Mr. Gaffrin. Tell me about any suspicious people who came to the shop in the last week. 56 individuals entered the shop. Human female, old. No male, old. Human female. He'll be reeling off customers till nightfall. We need to ask it in a different way. Were any of the suspicious people tieflings? Tieflings, 3. Tiefling male, middle-aged. Tiefling male, young. Tiefling female, young. Describe the female tiefling. Tiefling female, above average height, hair, long, pale. Tail, not observed. Long horns, eye color blue. Special observations, scar on nose. Baldric with gold stitching. I don't know that one. A new arrival, most likely? Gold stitching, eh? Wouldn't mind getting to know her a little bit better. Describe the young male tiefling. Tiefling, male, medium height, short horns curling backwards, medium length tail, eye color yellow, hair color black. Special observations, annoyed master. Horns, hair, tail, that sounds like me, but it's not possible. I know what the security's like here. I didn't come near the place. I give you my word, Chief. No special observations. Subject was unremarkable. There, see? Can't have been me. Describe the middle-aged male tiefling. Tiefling, male, medium height, long horns, medium length tail, eye color, pale blue, skin color, dark. Special observations, red hair. Oh, that's our traitor. I bet your life on it. Karis May drilled it into our heads that we wasn't to go hanging about the shop. Red hair? We've got a couple of gingers, and plenty more who get it out of a bottle. So much for a special observation. Golems ain't all they're cracked up to be, eh? Maybe its master knows more. Enough. The golem is silent, waiting for an order. Where is your master? Philemon Fruliteros, my master, is in his hiding place. Revealing the location of the hiding place is prohibited. He likely holed himself up in the basement when the commotion started. The entrance should be around here somewhere. Where's the basement in this place? The basement is below me. I guard the basement. Leaving my post is prohibited. I found out everything I wanted to know. So we're going to save her real quick here. We've got an athletics check to move this guy, and we kind of want to keep our... we kind of want to make sure we don't fail this because we would become fatigued.
The mongrel did it.
Made it. So into the basement. Marauders, bandits, scavengers. Yeah, makes sense. We're all those things and much, much more. Before you report us to the authorities, mind if we have a chat? Please calm down. No one's going to rob you. You do look better dressed than the local thieves and ragamuffins. You came here to tell me that the nightmare is over? No, it's not. You're here to steal my riches. Get back. You, Woljif, the dirty little sneak thief. You've been sniffing around my shop for years. Finally worked up the courage to rob me, did you? Get out of here. You and your pals have taken everything already, I'm sure. My name is Philemon Frulitaros. I was the owner of the shop, but I'm not sure I can claim to be the owner of anything right now. I hope there's at least something left of it. Oh, come off it. Your shop's fine. It's a bit ransacked, maybe, but nothing a bit of spit and polish can't fix. Where were you the night of the robbery? Do you think I robbed my own shop? I was here in the basement. I was told to make it look like I'd left. The Watch was very keen to get their hands on those tieflings. They seem to be multiplying all over Galarian. So of course I did everything they said, and I've been stuck in this basement since then. The golem wouldn't move away from the door no matter how much I yelled at it. But then I thought that it was all to the good. Somebody came by after the guards and caused a ruckus upstairs, bellowing like mad, taking advantage of my absence. Tell me about the tieflings that have visited Ancient Trees and Wonders recently. Why should I tell you anything about my customers? You're not from the City Guard or the Eel Watch. Chief, if he keeps digging in his heels, just say the word. I know how to loosen his tongue. First we'll try and intimidate, because it's a slightly lower check. Alright, just put that away. I'll tell you everything. Ask your questions if it's so important. Tell me about Woljif. Woljif Jefto, right? Yeah, I've known him a long time, though I'd rather not know him at all. He's been skulking around my shop for years, treating the place like a free museum. He always wanted to look at the moon of the Abyss. I'd chase him out, but he just slunk back in. If he was with the gang that robbed my shop, I'll bet anything he'd swipe the moon. How come I'm the prime suspect? Whoever betrayed us all, that's the one who's got the moon. I want to see it return too, you get me? I don't like the idea of other people's grubby mitts on it. Tell me about the tiefling woman. A tiefling woman? Ah, yes, I remember now. A noble lady, unlike the tiefling ruffians we have around here. She purchased magical equipment for the crusade, and she promised to come again. If only all tieflings were like that, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank. Tell me about the red-haired tiefling. A red-haired tiefling? I suppose, yes, there was one who came in and spent a long time looking around. He was a person of modest means. I could tell by his clothes, but he asked me to show him an Asmark-made chainmail. He certainly couldn't afford it. That's when I suspected that something was off. I checked everything after he left, but nothing was missing, and that put my mind at ease. I can't remember what he looked like. I didn't get a good look at his face. All I remember is that he was wrapped in a green cloak like he was freezing. But that's all I have. That's it. With that description, we'll surely sniff him out. Come on, Chief, back to Sister Terrace May. We go, to have a good, long, shifty look at my brothers, and put these clues together. Something tells me our traitor isn't going to wriggle out of this one. I found out everything I wanted to know. If that isn't enough to help you catch the thieves, then I don't know what else to tell you. Now, be on your way and leave me in peace with my regular shop. Alright, that's all the information we needed from him, so let's steal his booze and open this chest here and get on our way. Oh, it's okay, Snuffles.
I hope you appreciate this.
So that should actually be enough information for us to solve the case of who the traitor to the Tieflings is. I don't know which update they did this in, but there used to be a path directly from Ancient Trees and Wonders to the Tieflings' hideout. If that ever gets put back into the game, what I would suggest is taking that trip right now after we do that. However, since we're going back to Defender's Heart and then going back up to Tiefling's hideout, I'm actually not going to do that right now. What I am going to do is I'm going to have us head for Market Square down here. We are going to clear up whatever we can in Market Square without resting. So without getting our spells back, just doing what we can with the items that we have in inventory for buffs and healing. Oh, we'll stop by the Fallen Horse here and just pick up some items that are useful for creating potions and scrolls.
Can we retreat already?
Alright, looks like we've got an alchemist behind us, and I don't see anything else right now, so we'll just have everybody bum rush this alchemist. Take out the stuff and
Follow my steps.
start heading back towards Market Square. Or back towards the Fallen Horse, I guess. Now back towards Market Square. We don't mind actually getting into these fights here, the random encounters. I mean, we haven't leveled up, so it's nice to get that extra experience. Let's see. Camellia, yeah, you're using...
I'll cut you
We'll have
wide
you go
open.
there, and we'll have everyone else. Kill this other guy. Nope, I guess not. Oh, I thought she was on... my mistake there, I thought she was on her buckler and rapier, and forgot we had her on shooting. I guess I should take a quick look over what I have everybody doing. So we've got reach, melee, range, melee, and then obviously both pets are working in melee here.
Done.
You can handle them, right?
The world in crimson.
I don't want us to go start a new fight quite yet. There's one dretch over there that they are trying to gang up on here. We are going to save it real quick here because this is another section where I would save scum if we fail. This is an athletics check and everyone gets fatigued if you fail this athletics check, at which point you kind of have to rest. We're going to save scum here so we don't have to rest if we do fail it.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
Oh, we're good. We've built ourselves a little bridge. We're not going to use the bridge right away. We're going to head up this direction first, but it's good to have the bridge built. I guess I should probably save her again here just in case we have to reload and don't have to take that check again. Over here it just says the inner wall of Canabras, which encloses the city center, now lies in ruins. So we're going to head straight north here and assist these guys with fighting some marauders up here. And then we'll switch, and we're going to pick these guys up. I'm actually going to have Camellia run this direction. We're taking a little more damage than we really need to by not paying attention to kind of the positioning here. Oh, and not line of sighting these archers who are shooting land. But it's really not that big of a deal. We have just a ton of healing potions in our inventory here still. We got 52. We're never going to go through that many, so we'll probably end up selling a lot of those potions off just to save weight as we continue leveling here. I'm just going to pick all of this stuff up as well, and then what I'm going to do is every so often I'm going to go drop it off by like this location and just dump all of the armor that I have there, because that's the heaviest pieces of equipment. And then we'll kind of measure as we go back through which armor we can afford to carry and which armor we can't afford to carry back to
Something here.
the Defender's Heart in order to
Let's
get it
head
sold. Here is Kaylessa. Let's see, we'll take a chance on this Knowledge World. We do need to roll a 17 here. Nope, didn't get that. So, who are you? There's no point in you knowing, soldier. Trust me, the answer would only bring you misfortune, and it still wouldn't be of any use to you. I'm a wanderer. You won't ever meet again. Who wounded you? Haven't you noticed the city's burning? There's a battle going on. I was wounded by a cultist. Well, I know who you are. You're Kaylessa, a cultist of Discari, which was told to us by Autumn Thorn. That's a lie. I loathe demons, and I'll kill any I come across. We'll take a perception check here. It looks like we need to roll a 6. We did succeed at that. She's clearly holding something back, but she doesn't appear to be lying. You're not lying, but you're not telling me the whole truth. What was I supposed to pour my heart out? You have your war, soldier. I have mine. You're fighting chaos and madness, and I'm fighting lies and hypocrisy. But we are both willing to die for our cause, aren't we? Why would Thorn slander you? You're asking questions that are dangerous, in and of themselves. I urge you to stop. The more you know about me, the higher the chances that a traitor's dagger will find its way into your back. I believe you. Thorn is at Defender's Heart. You should keep clear of that place. It was never my intention to set foot in there. Farewell, soldier, and thank you for believing me. So we've let her go, and if you're not familiar with the, I guess the Pathfinder universe and are more familiar with the D&D portion, in Pathfinder, the Drow, or the Dark Elves, which she is a part of technically, if you succeed the world check, you know that, they are kind of more of a rumor than well known throughout the world of Golarion. So it's not the same as in everybody knows them and knows that they're evil. It's more that certain elves know about them in Keonan, but really no one else in the world knows about Drow. Go grab some loot here. And we're going to head up this direction in order to kind of fill our last companion slot.
We'll make this quick. She won't feel a thing.
I don't know. Can we really do this?
Listen, we don't have a choice. There are demons everywhere. What else would you have us do?
A group of knights surrounds a young elven girl. She is dressed in rags that barely cover the hideous scars on her body. The beggar girl is on her knees, watching placidly as the people argue heatedly around her. It is as if she doesn't sense the looming threat at all. A black crow flies in agitated circles above her head.
In Iomede's name, we're sorry, girl, but it is our duty. We have to do this, not for our own sake, but for the sake of everyone who can still be saved from the demons. If we don't win this battle, you won't have long to live anyway.
They're insane! We've got to do something!
I understand. You're scared. You feel powerless. You think this will help. You don't have to justify yourselves to me. Just do what you've decided to do.
What's going on here?
We...
Our weapons barely scratch the demon's hides. We're sacrificing this girl to Iomade so we can consecrate our weapons with her innocent blood and gain the power to destroy the spawn of the abyss.
It's extreme, but we have no other choice. We have to defend this city somehow, or else we'll all perish, including her.
I think we're just gonna choose, let's see what we have the best chance at here. It looks like Intimidate. We only have to roll a 3 here. Sheathe your weapons and step away from her, or else.
Whoa, no need for that.
Please, don't fight. All of you are good people, defenders of the city. Please don't hurt them. They just made a mistake.
The knights look at each other and take off running.
They're gone, and they all lived. I was sure that someone would die today. So many people have died here already. But we are still alive for some reason. Strange, isn't it? But you shouldn't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a silly girl, really.
Well, who are you?
Call me Ember. I live here, on the streets, for many years now. But there's nothing to say about me.
I don't think you're an ordinary girl. And that crow you have there, it's not ordinary either.
No, don't be silly. I'm very ordinary. Well, I know different types of tricks, but Soot taught me those. Now Soot here, she truly is unusual. She's clever and she can talk, but only to me. She teaches me magic tricks and lots of other stuff. I don't know what I'd do without her.
Magic tricks, you say? You could prove useful in fighting the demons, and I'll be able to protect you from insane soldiers on the streets. Come with me.
I must have misheard. This girl? Join our party? What could we possibly want with this dirty little beggar?
Sure, let's go.
She's just so much more positive than you, Camellia. So we do have to take another look at the formation here. We'll just restore it to default real quick because I don't want Ember running around up front of everybody. And I think I'll actually put the dog, we'll kind of do a diamond shape here a little bit. So the dog can be our off tank here in the back, kind of patrolling if we get attacked from the rear, one of those random attacks again. We are going to go ahead and run in this building here real quick. This is kind of annoying because there are some swarms in here, and it would be better if we had
I will help where I can.
ways to, I guess, AoE clear them. We don't really right now, and it's kind of crowded for trying to do things like Burning Hands. But what we'll try to do is we'll try to have anybody that the swarms are going after run around a bit so that the swarms can't actually sit on them, because they have to sit on them for a whole round before they start doing damage.
I found something.
So let's see. looks like... Well, it looks like we should move back this way. Camellia should move over here. Sela should go over here. Where's the elephant? Elephant should maybe go over here as well. We'll do that real quick. Oh, see, I mistimed her there. And they did damage to us, but, you know, whatever, that happens.
Aim carefully.
Who's this? This is Sela, so that one is actually on her.
The inheritor.
Her go after this
My
one.
blade.
Then this, I guess that gets to be the annoying part, is after you get hit once, all of a sudden you get sickened and then you can't. Your offense just goes off at that point. But there, cleared up. So let's see, we've got...
Am I not?
The dog is diseased. I think Ember probably has the best religion. Oh, I guess it's a tie there. But
Rely on
since we've been using her to get some religion, we'll go ahead and have her try this. Oh, we failed. We didn't dispel it. Let's try it on Woljif. We failed there too. What do we actually... Oh, we rolled a 1. And we rolled a 3. And we need a 5. So really unlucky with both of those. You can only try this once a day. So we'll leave the disease on those guys for now, and I guess we'll get it off the dog. So inside this room here, we see that there's a summoning circle on the floor. I'm going to learn this recipe real quick. There's a summoning circle on the floor. We're not going to interact with that right now. The circle summons a Vrock, which is a stronger, kind of tougher demon for the level that we're at right now. It has immunity to non-magical weapons, and we don't have enough magical weapons spread between everybody that we can kind of consistently do damage to it. So a lot of our companions right here would actually not be able to hurt the Vrock at all. So we will stop back at some point and get him out, summon him, and take care of him. But we're not gonna get him right this
Follow my
second.
steps.
So Ember,
Soot is restless.
let's see if you can
wonder
slumber
why.
this barbarian here. Oh, she did. So I'm gonna set Seal up to go take care of that one, and then I'll just let everybody else go where they were gonna go.
I'll just sit here.
Oh, Sela.
Don't worry about me.
I guess we're gonna... Oh, not Woljif, though. We're gonna have us go take care of that guy. And we're gonna have Ember attempt to slumber this archer back here, I guess. We did get the archer as well, so it's just this guy and the marauder here, but the marauder is almost dead.
No contest.
Yeah, we just did 61 damage to the marauder, so he's done. Just before he blinded us and, well, I guess just tagged us with the temporary blindness. It's not a complete blindness. So let's see here. I am going to turn everybody's AI off. We're going to have them all run back here. How long are we? We're blind and stunned for a while here. We're just going to have us sit for a bit here. Oh. Well, that didn't work. I wanted to...
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I wanted to also coup de grace him, but
I feel faint.
we were stunned for too long. So we'll just grab everything here. Head back down and grab loot from this direction. I'm glad it wasn't the permanent blindness, because you do actually have to have like a remove blindness specific spell for that.
I hope you appreciate this.
Camellia is not great for having those types of spells, because
Let's head out.
you just don't know when you're going to need them, when they're going to be useful, and when you're not. And since she has to memorize her spell, she has to pick what she's going to have available ahead of time. Ember, on the other hand, has spontaneous casting, which means she just, every spell that's in her spell book, she can cast. So she would be a good choice to get things like remove sickness, remove disease, remove poison, remove blindness, just because if she doesn't need to cast those, she can use them for the other slots that she has available in those levels. And we'll fix her bar up at some point in the future, but not right now. We're just going to kind of keep trucking here.
Cover me, all right?
We've got some dretches to take care of. We don't really need... We'll pick up hit points for people who are low on hit points after we drop the armor off that we're going to drop off at this exit point up here. So right here, we're just going to go ahead and drop and we picked up. Unless it's magic, we'll hold on to the magic stuff. But we don't want to be overloaded while we're running around here. So what'll happen is when we leave the map, it'll offer us to pick up anything that we've dropped on the floor. So dropping the magic stuff there isn't the end of the world. You will get an option to pick it up before you leave the map. But I just like to keep it on me so I remember that it's in my inventory and I don't need to necessarily pick it up. Alright, let's drink some potions. Well, actually, did I use all my heals? Let's check that first. I did not. So we'll use her heals first off here.
No reason to pause.
Oh, she does have lay on hands. I'm going to put the lay on hands over here, actually.
We should move.
I will do that. And I'm going to drink this. We will
Together we stand.
rest before we go into the next
Always
map.
be ready for the worst.
Anyway,
Cast
so
nicely.
that's
We'll
fine.
make things right.
And we're going to cast
Something wrong?
this on him. Give him a little more armor class there. Let's see, what are we up to? We're up to 30. It's actually much easier to get 30 quickly when you on your pets than it is on either Camellia or Sela. Camellia, actually, the reason that she is good at tanking in some cases is if you head to the Tower of Strahd very quickly, there is a +2 set of Mithril Light Chain, which is a ridiculously good piece of armor for this level of the game. So she essentially gets armor that she really shouldn't have until 4 or 5 levels later, and that is why she ends up being decent at tanking. Alright, let's drink some potions. We are going to have the dog drink a couple. Just 2, it looks like. Looks like Lan could use 1. We could probably drink 2. And Sela could probably drink 2. We'll call that good. And across the bridge we go. We are not going to head this direction right now, over the athletics across the rubble. To get... Well, I guess let's pull the map up right here. So we're not really going to clear out this section of the map. We're going to clear out this section, which we've kind of already done, and then we're going to clear out this section up here, with the exception of kind of in this area there's a Babao and some other demons. We're not going to fight those right now. But most of the stuff right over here in this quarter of the map we're going to take care of, and then we're going to go find Jana Aldori as well.
Watch each other.
Alright, let's just do this, I guess. Oh, it looks like Lan is blocking our elephant. That's not great. Where's the dog at? The dog is behind Ember back here. So she's got him boxed out. He used cleave, but he only hit one animal, or one insect, I guess, because he's not up far enough. My beloved brother, I admire your zeal, of course, but would you not agree this is hardly the time to be standing guard over a hole that no one will ever emerge from? Or perhaps you're concerned that someone will decide to go for a nighttime stroll and will accidentally fall into it? Such foresight is laudable, but do you really need so many soldiers for such a task? Can't your warriors be put to better use, for instance, fighting demons or clearing rubble, while the people are trapped beneath it might still be alive? Don't you dare call me brother, heretic! How dare you accuse me of doing nothing to protect this city? Especially now, when followers of your temple were caught committing treason. To my mind, you are no different than the demon worshippers. Those miscreants, those beasts that are digging under the city walls. Everyone knows, my dearest prelate, that in your zealous pursuit of order in the city, you have long since forgotten how to tell friend from foe, and good from evil. That's what happened with my adepts, whose act of treason was a genuine attempt to save the city. And yet again, I am forced to repeat myself. While we are wasting time on pointless quarrels, people are dying under the rubble in our city. People whom we could have saved if you had only set your soldiers to the task and not kept them here, surrounding a useless and utterly harmless hole in the ground. Harmless? Well, if it's on your say-so, that must mean there's someone down there. Your associates, no doubt. And they're just waiting for us to abandon our post before they slink out and try again to... And you, I remember you. You appeared in my city the day the demons attacked and Trundlip died. What are you doing here? Answer at once, or I'll have you strung up by your ankles before you know it. Don't think that the demons have wounded me. I still have enough strength to take on 100 of your sort. And what is this hideous creature? Hulrun peers at Lan. Lan, at your services. My forebears fought in the First Crusade. I've lived in Canabras my whole life. You haven't ever seen me before? It must be because you don't ever venture into our underground district. We've been meaning to complain to the city authorities that our paving stones have been in need of repair for a long time. The First Crusade? So you're a mongrel? You obviously know human speech. Surprisingly well, in fact. Alright, let's be off with you. If he causes any trouble, I shall hold you responsible. Come to think of it, you still haven't told me who you are. I'm a crusader, fighting to liberate Canabras from the demons. A crusader, you say? I'll be looking into that. You obviously don't know to whom you are speaking. I am the one who decides who's a crusader and who's a traitor in this city. Hulrun Shapak, prelate of Canabras by the grace of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, and the city's defender against threats from within and without. And as we can see, you've done a sterling job protecting the city. I am Ramian of Edme, prior of the Temple of Desna, which alas currently lies in ruins. Wise Hulrun here believes it is vital to guard this hole in the ground, from which he is certain demons will emerge at any moment. I have been trying to convince him that the city has far more urgent matters to deal with. For instance, rescuing those currently dying under the rubble. You know what? There may, in fact, be one matter that is more important than guarding this hole. I put it off, and look where it's led us. I should have had you hung from the gates back when you dared to defend your gang of delinquent demon collaborators. If the Sarkorians had hanged Arilu Vorlesh while they had the chance, there would never have been a war. I won't repeat their mistake. I won't hesitate any longer. Soldiers, seize this scum. Prelate, see reason. These are frightening times, but threatening to hang someone without trial? That is unworthy of the servant of Iomade. Lest you forget, girl, we may serve the same goddess, but you are not an inquisitor. Don't question the way I choose to serve Iomade, and I won't question yours. We're going to choose number 2 here, which requires the angel mythic path. Behold, Inquisitor, I bear the gift of an angel who died in the caves below Canabras. I am no enemy of yours. You're telling the truth. The light in your hand was wrought by the power of heaven. I will keep an open mind with regard to you, stranger. And later, under less fractious circumstances, I would like to ask you about how you came to receive this gift. But that can wait. Now I must deal with this filth once and for all. We'll just say nothing. You're a fool, Hulrun. You're a zealot and a murderer, but you're a fool first and foremost. I told you that the Wardstone was weakened. You wouldn't listen. I warned you that the city was going to be attacked. You shooed me away. The truth is that my young adepts were trying to save the Wardstone, and you stopped them. Of course, those truly responsible for this tragedy are the demons, but you have done nothing to prevent it. And now you would still rather kill an innocent person and perish yourself than admit that you were wrong, as always. Oh, he's so mad. He fled, the heretic! He's no doubt expecting me to rush off in pursuit, but that won't work on me. What about you? If you truly have been marked out for a gift from heaven, this is your chance to save the city. Go and bring back that filthy traitor. I am almost certain that he and his cronies were helping the demons, either knowingly or unknowingly. Their attempt to bewitch the Wardstone is clear proof. Ramian must be captured. I see you've suffered greatly in battle. Nonsense. I had to deal with a brood of Nabasus. It was nothing. I've taken out worse enemies with the goddess's help. We succeeded at check to know that Nabasus are death demons, and they have the ability to drain their victim's life force. Did Ramian really warn you about the attack? Those crazed Desnans were always bursting into my study with their incoherent prophecies that came to them in their dreams. I won't lie, sometimes what they said did come to pass. But can we really rely on the woolly dreams of heretics over the cold hard facts of intelligence reports? Plenty of demons could have easily fooled them and whispered a treasonous plan in their dreams, and those lunatics would have been only too happy to listen. This time, Mr. Curls for Brains came to me and declared that the demons were about to attack the city, and that the Wardstone's power was diminished by some kind of contamination or taint. Iomedae forgive me for even repeating the words. After uttering such blasphemy, he should have been locked up along with his followers and interrogated. But instead, I simply increased the surveillance on them. And what next? My people caught them red-handed trying to attack the Wardstone with unknown magic. And not 3 days later, the demons attacked the city. There's an obvious connection between these events. Whether deliberately or under demonic influence, the Desnans played right into the hands of Discari's hordes, and they almost left the city completely defenseless. Ramian covered for his people the whole time, and helped them escape my guards. After that, what else can he be but a traitor and a heretic? I have to go. Go on then, if you have to. It would be good if you could return with the head of that scum. I remember you. When Father and I arrived in the city, you met us. What is this gibberish? As if I have nothing better to do than to arrange meetings with vagrants. But it's true. You and the other knights tied us to stakes and started lighting bonfires. Father died. And then one of your knights changed his mind and pulled me from the flames, but then he died too. Don't you remember? If you were burned, then it was with good reason. You say some traitor helped you escape from the fire? That is a crime in itself, which means that you have been evading justice for all these years. If it weren't for the invasion, I would review your case and see that your sentence was finally fulfilled. You're lucky that we have more important matters to deal with right now. He didn't look the way he does now, all wrinkled and gray. He was young with a big mustache. He probably forgot all about me. That was a long time ago. But I do want to say one thing. I'm not cross with him. This knight is a true hero. He just really, really wanted to protect his city. Only he got all mixed up about who was good and who was evil. Hulrun, you sent an innocent child to be burned at the stake? Don't you want to ask for forgiveness? Pah, hardly. Anyone can look innocent. How did this girl manage to survive the fire? And what about the crow that's always flying around her? I advise you to take a closer look at this innocent little lamb of yours. If you ask me, she looks highly suspicious indeed. You forgive him after what he did to you, Amber? He thought he was doing what was right. How do you know? Maybe you've done something thinking it was a good thing, but you were really doing a bad thing that hurt someone. But what if? What if I've done the same thing? You can't get angry at people for making mistakes when you might be no better than them. Alright, Ember, let's go, though. Yes, let's go. Bye-bye, kind knight. And that reminds me.
Person, I like you.
Amber's got a crow that I should have out here as well. Alright, let's go kill some more insects. Oh, not just with Ember, though. I want everybody to go up here.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
Alright. There we go. This check up here, by the way, you die if you fail. So if you're deciding to play on Last Aslanti, I would not attempt this mobility check. The demon invasion transformed all of Canabras into one great battlefield, but nowhere in the city suffered as much as this square. This place saw a clash of titans, the demon lord Daskari leading his hordes from the abyss, and the dragon Terendelev, the mightiest of the city's defenders, and one of the first to fall. The scene of destruction leaves no doubt as to the battle's outcome. A skilled scout could recreate the course of the battle moment by moment, simply by looking at the ruins. From the chimneys torn down by powerful wings in a sharp dive, to the bloody tracks left behind when the demon dragged away the noble reptile's broken body. But it is no hypothetical scout gazing upon the ruins, it is us, and we are not alone. The shadow of a strange, barely perceptible presence lingers over this place, like a gaze untethered from any observer. This mysterious force, unknown to mortal kind, silently assesses, judges, and seeks a better way. In an instant, we are vested with this power, and we look out at the world with its eyes. The past, present, and future stand before us as a unified whole, an unmoving, multifaceted crystal that would be beautiful were it not for the fractures, blemishes, and flecks marring its splendor. What past do we see? In the past exists the one who wielded this gaze in life, although the one and life are in opposite terms. I think that's supposed to be inappropriate terms for aeons, the supernatural embodiments of cosmic balance. Rather than who or what, a better word for these entities is how. This aeon appeared from outside this world, from the great beyond, to put an end to the intermingling of the planes and destroy the worldling, the chasm disrupting the order of the multiverse. Alas, the visitor from beyond proved too weak for the battle they came to fight. They even failed to finish casting the spell that would have sent Daskari back to the abyss. With one swing of the scythe, the demon lord cut the aeon down. What present do we see? Ruins, blood, corpses. None of this perturbs the aeon's dispassionate gaze. The living are alive, and the dead will be judged by Pharasma. All is as it should be. But the demons circling in the sky or prowling through the streets create a jarring juxtaposition, like splashes of blood-red ink on a restrained pencil sketch. They should not be here. The world of mortals is for mortals. The demon's place is in the demon world. How sublime the world would be if everything knew its place. But even the demons aren't as abhorrent as the sharp-edged, unassuming crystal languishing in the dirt among the bricks and smashed cobblestones. No mortal would notice it, but to the Aeon's eyes its mere existence is an outrage against universal laws. If the Aeon still existed, they would not stop until the crystal was unmade. But the Aeon is gone, and only their gaze remains. We pick the crystal up out of the dirt and stow it in our pocket. We are mortal, which means we have the power to decide what to do with it. What future do we see? Good and evil, chaos and order, everything is in its lawful place in the multiverse, and is no longer trespassing where it does not belong. Nothing is disrupting the smooth and steady current of the river of souls from life into death and back to life again. The reality, rid of its flaws, is now perfect, and the Aeons withdraw to eternally admire its beauty, which will never be threatened again. After allowing us to view the world through their eyes, the little that remained of the destroyed Aeon, is killed even appropriate here for an entity that is so removed from life and death as we understand it? Used up its last vestiges of energy. Now they are ready to disperse into nothingness, unless someone decides to preserve the Aeon within themselves. Will we take on this power so that we may again look at the world through another's eyes? Or will we allow it to vanish? We're going to select one here, which is retain the Aeon's power within yourself. And you do have to select this one if you later want to pick Aeon. We aren't going to pick Aeon, but I think we would retain the Aeon's power at this point, because we don't see that there's anything wrong with it necessarily. The spirit of the Aeon dwells out of sight, deep in our soul, like a pair of magical spectacles stowed away until the moment when we once again need to look through the world. We need to look at the world through another's eyes. All right. Let's have Ember go ahead and
restless.
attempt to slumber this fighter over here. Did we get him? We did get him. So we're going to have, again, we're using Sela here because she has a reach weapon. So she can be farther away to coup de grace. But luckily that reach weapon also has a ×3 multiplier, and the crit in a coup de grace is an automatic guaranteed crit. So you do want to use a weapon with a higher multiplier when you decide to take that action. Alright, let's see if Ember can help out here again. We'll try to grab this cleric over here, I think. Oh, it's not gonna matter. So again, yeah, we're just gonna grab everything. We don't want all that stuff, but we'll eventually sell it all. That Midnight Bolt that we just picked up, which, I mean, it was glowing red, it's the thing that we shot at Discari. So what it is it does 50 points of damage that can't be ignored or reduced, and it cannot miss. I did read somewhere that you're supposed to use those at specific times to get crystals for a secret unlockable ending, but I don't know how that works right now, so that's something that we'll maybe experiment around with in the future.
I spotted something.
So, let's see where we're at. Well, we need quite a bit of experience still. We're going to run up here and take care of a couple things up here. We'll talk to this guy. And we're going to save it real quick because we're going to do another athletics check up here. And again, if we fail an athletics check, we get fatigue for everyone, and we don't want to have to rest right now. Watch it, watch it. What are you goons doing? You'll bloody crush me. Quit whining. Hey, alarm, somebody's coming. Maybe she'll help us. Wise up, would you, before you get us killed. Let's make a run for it while we still can. No, come on, don't leave me here, I'll die. Hey guys, I see you're in a bit of a jam. Get a load of this lot, and no escort neither. Wolf, you little shit. How are you not dead yet? And who's that with you? They're friends of mine. Great guys. Listen, do me a solid. Help them drag his sorry carcass free. They'll repay you. Cross my heart. And we're just going to go with the good option here. So athletics 16 check. We need to roll a 7. I'll help you pull them out from under the rubble. And we succeeded. Phew, I'm alive. And all in one piece, give or take. Thank you. I'll remember your kindness for the rest of my life. And you two clowns, I don't want to hear a word out of you. Get into the tunnel now. One trip, just to the Grey Garrison and back. Don't be a coward, it's not going to collapse. Go, or else we came all this way for nothing. That ended well, didn't it? Whoosh, not now, talk later. Sounds very suspicious to me. Come clean. Who are you? Alright, don't hurt us. People call us the Tieflings. We kind of skirt around the edges of the law. That's how we make our living. Say some tyrant bans books that show stuff he don't like, or fancy Keonan wine he don't drink. Is it wrong if we step in to fill the gap in the market? There's a demand for it. Someone's got to sell it. Don't go thinking we're gangsters or anything. Our only concern is making the lives of citizens easier. for a little coin. People in the city can't even breathe without breaking some stupid regulation or restriction. Take this tunnel that collapsed on top of our friend, for instance. It leads straight to the Grey Garrison. Thanks to it, any soldier whose throat's feeling a little dry, or who's needing some nighttime reading material, we can get all the things from him that his heartless superiors refuse to. We're providing a public service. Well, I helped you. Now you can help me, and Commander Tierbade, to save Canabras. The militia needs people with various skills, even ones as unusual as yours. You what? Are you blind or something? Know what people call us? Aurilu's spawns, and that's one of the nicer nicknames. Crusaders and Tieflings don't mix. We'll be torched on sight. Whoa, Tierbade? Erebeth Tierbade from the Eagle Watch? Lads, we have to help her. She's one of the only big shots in this town that actually treat us with any decency. Why should we risk our necks for the Crusaders? Because Erebeth risked her neck for ours. She saved me from that creep Holrun and yanked me straight out of his torture chamber. Only a worthless toe-rag would refuse to help her after that. Nah. I'm not listening to any more of this. You do what you want. I'm heading for the River Kingdoms. Go on, then. I'm going with the Crusaders, and I'm going to round up the others to help. We've made some good money in this city. It'd be a shame to surrender our meal ticket to the demons. But enough yammering. So long. So those guys are one of the... Well, you can technically... There's 4 that I know of, but you can only get 3 of them to join up for this common cause. So we've got the Tieflings, and we are going to get the Desnians here as well. Oh, actually, let's just head up here. There's a fight up here that we can do real quick as well. It's just several of these guys.
Demand your blood.
Let's see. We're gonna have the dog go this direction. Oh, he feared our elephant away. That's fine. He shouldn't be alive for too much longer here. We just bid him for 10. Got him. Elephant's still scared, though. Despite all the city's troubles, the statue of Iomedae towers proudly over the street. A rift in the earth left by Discard's massive scythe. That's where we fell down. Judging by the size of the bloodstain, the body of something truly enormous was dragged over these stones. Most likely Trendelev.
Tread lightly.
I made a bad angle for that, but this guy just ran in there. Thank gods! I found someone who isn't fleeing in a panic. Are you crusaders? Mercenaries? I am a servant of Count Darren Cale Nevis Arende. My lord's mansion is under attack by demons. The master himself and all his guests are trapped inside, and the house guards are nowhere to be found. I managed to escape through a servant's passage and look for help. Will you help me? The mansion's only a stone's throw away on the next street over. Count Arende? I've seen him a few times before from afar. He looked highly audacious. I convinced that he did capture my attention, but that's neither here nor there. We should help him. The gratitude of a rich and influential man can only benefit us. And we have failed a knowledge world check there. Tell me more about what happened. I'll tell you what I can. I was working from dusk till dawn and back to dusk again, serving guests at the Count's banquet. When the other servants came to relieve me at my post, I went to sleep. Next thing I know, I wake up and there are demons inside the mansion. I couldn't even reach the Count. The monsters had blocked the way. The Count's banquet was still going on. He and his guests were in the Great Hall, and as far as I could tell, the door to the room was sealed, and the demons couldn't get in. I'm begging you, hurry. The mansion doors are sturdily built, but the demons will have to work hard to get past them, so you still have time to rescue the people inside. Alright, I'll help. Where's your master's house? It's not far at all. You're better off entering from the next street over, though. through the passage I used to get out. Help, I'm begging you. I hate to think what the Count will do to me if I don't bring back help. And that gets us a house to go to. Oh, we already saw Rami in here. Hear me, take heed. The hordes of the Abyss march on Canabras. The Ward Stone is their target. They must not be allowed to capture it. The consequences will be disastrous. So we'll talk to Rami in here. So you found me. I have nowhere else to run. I'm at your mercy. Kill me if you wish, but I ask that you hear me out first. Stranger, wait. You spared Rami, and despite what that mad Inquisitor told you. Oh, hang on. I forgot to remove the spell. I hope Holrun's dogs aren't lurking nearby. So, you're one of the Desna Adepts that tried to break into the Ward Stone? Yes, I'm Ilks, Cleric of Desna, and one of the people who answered the call of the voice in dreams. Some unknown person made contact with us through our dreams, telling us about the demons' plans. We learned that the demons were planning to attack Canabras and do something terrible to our Ward Stone, which already carries the taint of corruption. Prelate Holrun refused to heed our warnings. We had to make a choice. We could either throw up our hands and pull back, or take action even though it would cost our lives. But what heartless person could stand by and watch in the face of such a deadly threat? What were you planning to do to the Ward Stone? Our plan was to get to it and then follow our instincts. There were 3 of us, a cleric, a mage, and a bard. Between us we know a lot. We're capable of a great deal. If we'd had enough time, I'm sure we could have figured out what was wrong with the Ward Stone and how to heal it. But they didn't give us time. Yes, the local commanders got roped into dealing with this. Some idiot kids trying to break into the Ward Stone. Apparently some of ours. But who even knows these days? I know there's no evil in you, I can sense things like that. But what you did was so stupid and impulsive. Someone could have gotten hurt. I know from experience. So you lot decided that you needed to do something right away, so you did something right away. Great work. Like the city authorities would have done a better job. They weren't going to do a thing, even if it sounds like they knew about the danger. All they knew was that some crazies had some weird dreams. But anyway, it's a little late to be trying to pin blame on people. I'm sick of all this Crusader infighting. It's not just infighting, it's a matter of life and death. It's about the path we're all on. Do you need help? Desna teaches us to trust and latch to his chances. Listen, my friends are called Aranka and Thal. Thal the Wallflower. Aranka is an amazing singer and a truly beautiful girl. She has plenty of friends and fans. She's likely blended into a crowd somewhere. Wallflower is a mage, but I don't think he'll risk using magic. It will only bring the Inquisitors down on him. He'll be harder to find. You'd better find Aranka first. She might know where Wallflower is. Please find them and protect them against the demons and the Inquisitors. I will await news in the Goddess's Temple. I hope our mysterious helper will send us a new message that will reveal what is to come from the demons. I have to go. Go. May Desna be with you, stranger. Alright, I think we're about out of time here for this episode. So, next episode we will actually have the conversation with Rami, and he's still here, even though we can't see him right now. There he is. We're going to have the conversation with him, then we're going to run back down here to Holrun, and we'll run over here to pick up our cat. And then we'll actually kind of be on our way, I guess. What we'll be heading towards is the Pataxian wine cellar next. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please find the time to like, comment, and subscribe to the video, the normal YouTube gig. And otherwise, we will see you next time.